Good evening, folks. This is Deb. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the men that we have coming into office with Donald Trump. You know, one of the biggest problems that the whole Trump decade has shown us is that it really doesn't matter what kind of character you have. You can run for president and be president of what is supposedly the greatest nation in the world, in spite of the fact that you're a felon and an adjudicated rapist. So let's stop pretending that this country takes the high road when it comes to the abuse of women, because the men coming into office with Trump, in some of them in very high positions, are abusers of women. And we're going to get on the list here just so everybody is reminded of this, because we returned a rapist to office on November 5th. And apparently some women didn't really worry that much about that. But we're going to start making some noise about people like this not being allowed to serve in government. So let's talk about these people. We have Donald Trump himself, who in 2016 was caught on hot mic saying that he could get away with anything. He could grab a woman by the pussy. And I'm sorry about the language, but we're going to use his language. He has also been accused of abusing over 24 women, and he is an adjudicated rapist of E. Jean Carroll. The man is about to hold the highest office in the land for another 4 years. Let's talk about Elon Musk. He paid $250,000 to a flight attendant that he allegedly sexually abused. He also pressured a female subordinate in his company to have children with him. And then he threatened to impregnate Taylor Swift. Then we have RFK Jr. Okay? He has been accused by one of his babysitters of sexually abusing her. And, you know, in July, when he was pressed on this issue, he kind of indicated that there may be more people coming forward. When he was asked directly about that, he said, "We'll see." Now, I want you to know that RFK Jr. did apologize to the babysitter by text. And, you know, he said he also didn't really remember it. So that must have been about the time the worm was eating his brain. Then we have Pete Hegseth. It's not bad enough that Donald Trump has elevated a Fox Weekend news anchor to the position of Secretary of Defense. But Peter Hegseth paid a woman who accused him of rape and then made her sign an NDA so that she couldn't reveal any of this. And in college, he actually wrote a paper stating that sex with an unconscious woman is not rape. And by the way, he's a misogynist who wants to throw women out of the military. Then we have Matt Gaetz, who has been proposed for the highest law enforcement position in the land. The Republicans' version of Merrick Garland. Okay? This is a man who, you know, is under investigation for sex trafficking a 17-year-old girl. And in fact, 2 other women testified to the House Ethics Committee that they were paid for sex by Matt Gaetz. And one of those women actually witnessed him having sex with the 17-year-old as they were at some kind of a house party where drugs and sex flowed freely. It has also just recently been revealed that Matt Gaetz used his son's PayPal account to pay for this little excursion. These are the people we have serving in our government. And yet we spend all of our time, the Republicans spend all of their time demonizing the LGBTQ community and in specific transgender people, while they carry on like a bunch of, I don't know, low-life sexual predators. That's essentially what we have in our government. This is unacceptable, folks. None of this should be considered acceptable, okay? Maybe, you know, we don't have a choice because they were elected by the people. But you know what? Some of us didn't vote for them. In fact, I believe the number in this country that did not vote for this party is about 78 million people. So my suggestion to you is we start writing letters to whatever elected officials we have, telling them that there needs to be some kind of a guideline put together for the next round of candidates that runs for office. And we need to push to have this passed and put on the record. This is the only way we get out of this mess. This sets a precedent that does not bode well for future generations of Americans. And it must end with this administration. I will talk to you all later.